And now, Mike's thoughts. Every year, every offseason, we start the debate. We start an amazing debate about who is better, who is this, and who is that, yada, yada, yada. And it never changes that every time when somebody talks about Lamar Jackson, they have to talk about Dak Prescott. Oh, he's better than Dak. He's better than that. He's better than this. He's better than that, right? Yada, yada, yada. But when we break it down, we truly have to comprehend and understand when you have a Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson. They are two totally different quarterbacks. Now, me personally, I will take Dak Prescott over Lamar Jackson every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Now, with that being said, right, with that being said, I did post the stats over here at facebook.com/manhour NFL Talk. I did the first 5 seasons for both because, you cannot compare the last 5 seasons of one player and the first 5 seasons of another player, right? You have to do it rookie year to year 5, rookie year to year 5. That just to me makes the most sense. So during those 5 years, fans, the first 5 years of both Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott's career, Lamar Jackson has played 70 games and versus Dak Prescott 69 games. As a winning quarterback of that game, Lamar Jackson is 45-16 and Dak Prescott is 42-27. Obviously, Lamar Jackson has a better winning percentage, right? A lot easier games, but hey, we will digress from that. But this is when you get into the nuts and the bolts of the conversation. Passing percentage completion. Lamar, 63.7% to Dak, 66%. Passing yards, 12,209 for Lamar to 17,634 for Dak. Passing yards per attempt, 7.4 for Lamar, 7.7 for Dak. Passing yards per game, 174.4 for Lamar, 255.6 for Dak. Passing touchdowns, 101 for Lamar, 106 for Dak. Interceptions, 40 for Dak, 34 Lamar Jackson. Then we jump down into the rushing attempts. Attempts, 727 for Lamar, 259 for Dak. Lamar does have 4,437 yards to Dak's 1,314 yards. 1,314 yards, I should say. Rushing yards per, basically rushing average per attempt here, 6.1 for Lamar, 5.1 for Dak, and they both have 24 touchdowns, respectively, during the rushing side of the things. So when you put out those stats, to me, Dak is the better quarterback. Yes, Lamar Jackson does extend plays with his legs, but really, Dak Prescott only averages 1 less yard per carry. Not that bad. Not that bad, right? Now, every time you put an argument out there like this, people have to say that, hey, what about the playoff wins? Neither of those players do well in the playoffs. Well, let's just call a spade a spade. Both of them shit to the bed in January. I believe they both have 2 wins, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have those stats in front of me. But then the goalpost has to get moved again to defend Lamar or defend Dak. Guys, at the end of the day, they are both very good for their teams. Lamar Jackson is very good for the Baltimore Ravens, and Dak Prescott is very good for the Dallas Cowboys in the regular season. You can say what you want, Dak throws a lot of interceptions. Lamar can only run the ball. It is what it is at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, when stats are presented in front of you, when you ask for the stats, don't be like, oh, those stats are skewed. They don't do this, this, and this, and this. It is what it is. Like in the day. And at the end of the day, I am complimenting Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a very prolific athlete. He is a very, very good athlete. Don't get it twisted. But at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson is not a great quarterback. Great athlete, yes. Great quarterback, no. Give me Dak Prescott. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that then. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speakers go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckcusher here with the Man Hour Show. Head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Go check out the blog section as well. Good things happening over there at manhourradio.com. And the app is coming as well soon, guys. So the Man Hour app is getting ready to drop here. Hopefully I can fine-tune it here in the next couple weeks, but building an app is tough. I did not realize how tough it is going to be to build an app. But also, guys, fantasy football is just right around the corner as well. So me and my man Tori Anderson will be doing some fantasy show here lately, or it'll be right here on the live show. But we will be starting our fantasy football league. That's right. It's your chance to win $200 free. It is free to sign up. All you have to do is be an active member over here at the Man Hour Nation here. And bada bing, bada boom, it's your chance to win some $200, some dollar bills, y'all, for free. There's no sign-up cost. There is no catch. I'm giving you $200 free just because you want to play some fantasy football and win some dollar bills. Yo, the only caveat, you have to watch the show. You have to watch the show to be able to sign up. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. We do got some people in the chat here tonight. We got my man Hoffy is in there. Hoffy is the man behind the Man Hour name right now until he gets on the show. We got live, raw, uncut sports talk. We got my man Jim Powell is in the chat today. He says neither play for the Ravens, so it doesn't matter. Raiders, not the Ravens. Neither of them play for the Raiders, so it doesn't matter. Jim Powell is at Raiders Nation. What is it? R4AL, right? Raiders Nation for life or something. I don't know. Every time I see it, I see the word anal. But hey, it is what it is. But Jim, welcome to the chat here. We're not talking about the Raiders today, but we will tomorrow when we talk about some of the preseason games coming up. And I see my man David was in the chat. There he is. And he says, I'm going to take Lamar. Everything about Lamar versus Dak, Dak versus Lamar, I don't think you can go wrong in any shape, way, or form, to be honest. Now, me personally, I would take Dak because I don't like the pedestal that the fans of Lamar Jackson put him up on this pedestal. I don't like that he's saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and he never performs, right? At least Dak Prescott kind of keeps his mouth shut. Kind of. Although he did say he thinks he's going to throw underneath 10 interceptions this year or something. Slow it down, baby. But David, welcome to the chat, my man. Hopefully you're having a good day, being safe. David is out there on the West Coast. So David, it's like what, 6 a.m. there? Man, I am so glad you are joining us here this early in the morning. Be safe out there, but have a great day, guys. Anybody that's out there, have a great Thursday. But guys, today is Thursday edition, August 10th, 2023, right here at manhourradio.com. And we are going to do If and Then Thursday. We are going to talk about the AFC versus AFC Super Bowls. Y'all dumb for that crap. Kareem Hunt is leaving Indy with no deal. Aaron Rodgers mentoring young quarterbacks. A.J. Dillon looking to punish the defense in 2023. Chase Young looking like 100%. We got my man, Hoffy, with the toxic comment of the day. We're going to bring that in. And then we're going to break down or look forward to some preseason games. Texans versus Patriots, Steelers versus Bucks. We got the Broncos versus Cardinals, and Packers versus Bengals. All that being said, guys, it is a great day to be alive. It is a great day to be alive, but it is time to get into some new news. Some new news of the day. If you guys hear some hammering, they're redoing my roof, and they're like literally right above me, and it sounds like they're like putting 20 nails per shingle. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But the Washington Commanders players are complaining that Eric Bieniemy has been too tough on them. He is, quote, too intense. Apparently, Washington Commanders don't like to win because my man EB brings that intensity. He's won a couple Super Bowls. Be ready to buckle up. And you all stupid for that. You all stupid for that 100%. Like, you guys wanted Eric Bieniemy. You wanted him to be your head coach. You want him to be your offensive coordinator. Now you're saying he's too intense? That's absolutely stupid. Henry Ruggs III was sentenced to at least 3 years in prison after his fatal DUI crash nearly 2 years ago. So, guys, this is news because Henry Ruggs was the receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, and he was going 150 miles an hour, hit a car, killed the woman and the dog inside of the car, sentenced to 3 to 20 years in prison. Spoiler alert, he's already been credited for time served, 1.5 years time served on house arrest, and he'll be serving the rest of his sentence in his house. House arrested for Henry Ruggs. So he'll be released around this time next year, and he'll be on the NFL team. It is what it is. Sorry, but it is what it is. Cardinals linebacker, now free safety, Isaiah Simmons feels free moving to safety in the Jonathan Gannon defense. Guys, this is great for Isaiah Simmons. I love when you get a big body linebacker, put him at strong safety. There's going to be some big collisions there, a lot of flags. Miles Jacks considered becoming a plumber or electrician before signing with the Eagles. This is news because I want to talk about this, guys. Being an electrician, being a plumber is not a bad trait. We all need traits in the world, and they make some pretty good money. Couple $100,000 like a year. So this kind of seemed like a basting post there. It was just kind of stupid at the end of the day. But other news around the league here. Cardinals running back Marlon Mack tore his Achilles in practice on Tuesday, 2 days ago, and is out for the season per head coach Jonathan Gannon. Mack had signed with the team on Friday. Mack was placed on injury reserve yesterday, which was Wednesday. Ravens signed running back Stevie Scott. Let's add another running back to that backfield. Good Lord. Also, Ravens receiver Rashad Bateman has been activated off the PUP list. He's finally ready to perform, ready to get some receiver catches from Lamar Jackson. Ready to catch those 5-yard outs. Chicago's Bears receiver Chase Claypool pulled up, grabbing his hamstring during one-on-one reps during Wednesday's practice. That's not good. That's not good at all. Joe Burrow's timeline, Cincinnati Bengals quarterback for his draft pick still remains several weeks when he initially suffered his injury back on July 28th. Questioning for week 1, will he be ready? Jamar Chase doesn't care. He wants him back by week 5. Indianapolis Colts signed running back Jason Huntley after Kareem Hunt left. We're going to talk about that. And wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, Braylon Edwards, didn't suffer any structural damage on his lower body after Tuesday's injury, says Coach Mike McDaniels. Sanders should be back at practice next week. But this is the big news here. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Jalen Waddle exited Wednesday's practice early and walked into the locker room underneath his own power. Jalen Waddle was holding his side after making a catch during team drill. So it could be a strained abdominal there, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I don't know. But hopefully Jalen Waddle is okay. And last new news of the day, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett will start Friday in Pittsburgh's preseason opener versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, coach Mike Tomlin said. That is it for the new news, guys. Always, there's tons of news happening around the NFL right now, and it is good time to be an NFL fan because everybody's team has hopes, has high aspirations right now, but let's slow it down. It's still August 10th, but in the next 2 weeks, guys, starting the last week of August, August 24th, we will be breaking down each team's win-loss record. I previously did that back in June, May. Preseason has happened. The draft has happened. Camp has happened. We're going to re-break it down because I've been watching a lot of film, a lot of practices, and I like some teams that I'm seeing. I do like some things that I'm seeing. Mainly the San Francisco 49ers. We'll be talking about that here coming up in hour number 2 on the Man Hour with my man Hoffy here. But we need to get into some comments here. As Hoffy says, Dak threw 2 picks in less than 10 minutes at training camp yesterday. So I am not worried about Dak Prescott throwing training camp interceptions. He is going up against one of the best defenses day in and day out in training camp. That defense has seen that same offense for the last 15 days, right? Hell, they've seen the same offense since May. So to get a couple picks in training camp, I'm not too worried about it, guys. I'm not too worried about it. I don't care that Dak threw 2 picks in less than 10 minutes at training camp. That's at least 8 plays. So whatever. It is what it is. Hoffy, stop trying to throw my man under the bus. Jim Powell says, is it wrong that I'm more upset about the dog in the Henry Ruggs wreck? No, because dogs have special places in our heart. I am just mad that a 22-year-old man, right? He has been in the limelight since he was a little kid, right? He did not know better not to drive 156 miles an hour. I'm upset that he broke the law speeding, ran a red light, and was stupid drunk. I am upset about the dog, and I think the world in general is more upset about the dog as well. Which I mean, my dog, my main man McGraw is right here, man. He is my right hand man. So when he dies, I'm gonna be pretty upset as well. Hoffy says, I love to murder someone and serve house arrest. I don't want to leave my house anyways. yeah, honestly, with the whole COVID thing that happened, and let's use the air quotes there, COVID, right? We can't use that word apparently because it's evil. House arrest is kind of like the norm. Here in Louisville, Kentucky, we literally have murderers that are gangbangers, that are part of the mob, that have been arrested with AK-47s and machetes and like all that stuff. They have a freaking anklet on and they're in their house. So they're still dealing the drugs. They're still getting laid. It's just like, I don't know. But yeah, let me go on a crime spree and be a house arrest, and I'll still be right here with y'all. Everyone but the Raiders. Not for sure what he's going on. Hoffy says, you are not allowed to jump on that Niners bandwagon. You've been shitting on them all preseason. We don't need you on that train. The train has already taken off. We'll be talking about the San Francisco 49ers here, guys, coming up very, very soon. We are going to see if their stock up or stock down. Spoiler alert, My mind really hasn't changed about them. But stay tuned. Maybe I can convince myself to stay around, to stay on that train, jump on the train, chase the train down the tracks. Come on, baby. And Jim says the camp is literally for interceptions. Yes, the camp is to test your abilities because, let's just be honest, you've been facing the same defense, you've been facing the same offense for 3-4 weeks now. You know that defense inside and out. You know the offense inside and out. You want to see if you can make that throw. You want to see if you can make that play. The dude just jumped off the roof. That was kind of crazy. I saw a little Mexican go flying across the window. Sorry, my bad. ADD right there. But yeah, Jim is right. Camp is literally for interceptions, guys. Like, just slow it down. Slow it down. Camp is just as scripted as the NFL season. They should change the whole. Oh my Lord. We're going to get into that toxic comment, guys, coming up as well. So once we get into the if and then, we're going to roll that through, and then toxic comment is coming back for the day. God, that's one last comment. You guys are killing it with the comments today. I absolutely love it. Keep them coming. Play along. Niners are on the wrong side of the bay. Anyways, we may not be in Oakland anymore, but Niner fans have been drinking our piss water. Shoot those shots, baby. A little California love. California knows how to party. Get it, guys. But, guys, there's a couple things that I would like to discuss here. So, every year, right? Every year, there are people out there that like to post their predictions, right? Like, I am all for it. I love seeing you jump on your team's bandwagon. 17-0, baby, 15-2, whatever. Like, I love seeing it. I love seeing playoff predictions. I love seeing Super Bowl predictions as well. But the one thing that irritates the piss out of me, I'm talking like I want to smack a baby in the mouth over and over and over again, is when people predict an AFC versus AFC Super Bowl or an NFC versus NFC Super Bowl. It is not going to be a Miami Dolphins versus Buffalo Bills Super Bowl. It's not going to be a Dallas Cowboys versus Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl. It literally cannot happen, people. The Super Bowl is AFC versus NFC. It's not NFC East versus AFC. It is a AFC versus NFC. So for all the people that are on my Man Hour Buck page, if you haven't done that, guys, go over there and like it. That's just me being me over there. Not hiding behind the Man Hour name. That is me being me, going live, posting stupid shit all the time. If I see one more person give me an AFC versus AFC Super Bowl or NFC versus NFC Super Bowl, I am going to smack your baby. I'm going to pull the baby out of your wife. I'm going to smack it and say your dad should have swallowed you. Your mom should have swallowed you. Whatever. Your dad should have lost you in a sock. That's what it comes down to. Like, yeah, stop it. I hate it. Now, I don't know if people are just trying to troll about that. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you are just trying to troll about the AFC versus AFC championship game. Hopefully you are just trying to, get people's goats. But damn it, it is pissing me off. Do it again. And I will wish that your dad nutted you in a sock. That is it. Man. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Melvin Middleton is in the chat. What is up, Melvin? He says, I've always seen since the holdout, the refs were switched and got the WWE ones. Oh my Lord. Hoffy, when you get in here, man, we are going to go directly to the toxic comment of the of the day. Like, all this script NFL crap, it is about time we discuss it. Raiders can suck these nuts. Slow it down, baby. That's not me. That's Hoffy. Jim, let Hoffy have it. That learned from your maternal parent unit. I'm not for sure what you're talking about there. Bada bing, bada boom. Melvin Middleton says the Fins are going 11-6. I'm just being rational and hoping that happens. So, Melvin, previously, I actually do have the Dolphins at 11-12 win team. I actually do have them winning the East as of right now. Now, in a couple of weeks, when we break it down again, maybe that will change, maybe not. Maybe it will change, maybe not. I don't know. Stay tuned. August 24th, last week of August, we'll be breaking it all down again. It says Dolphins' record depends on the health of Tua. No, Dolphins' record depends on the next man up, Hoffy. Dolphins' record depends on my man, Skylar Thompson from the Kansas State University, baby. Stay toxic, my friends. Stay toxic. I love it. Like, honestly, guys, I do love the toxic comments. Like, and I love calling people out on their BS. AFC versus AFC, that's just stupid. Stupid. Joseph's in the chat. This is the man that talks all that shh in AFC West trash talk group. If you guys are not a part of the trash talk groups, guys, join it. Get in there. And he says, tell him. Ooh, tell him. Ooh, tell him. Buck is being big mad. I'm not mad. I'm just telling you what it is, right? Melvin dropping the heat today. He says, if Purdy can repeat last year, I see San Francisco making it. The AFC is too stacked and to say who will be representing. We will be talking about the San Francisco 49ers coming up here, Melvin. So stay tuned. We got if and then coming. We have toxic comment of the day, right? And then we got the 49ers talk. We will be talking about the 49ers. We'll see if I'm on board with you. The question is, can Brock Purdy truly repeat? I don't know. That's where they learn to say Raiders suck. Hoffy popping up the chat here. Pop that back up, Hoffy. He says the Raiders are 127-211 since 2002, which is when the Raiders' last playoff win. Raiders are crap. Whoa. You guys have not had green apple Gatorade. It is fire. It is fire. 100%, guys. But it is time to get into the if and then statements of the day. And if and then, if you guys are new here, if and then is pretty simple here. It is pretty fun. We give you guys a if statement, and then we follow up with a then. So, for example, if Hoppy keeps talking his shh, Jim Powell is going to lay down that smack down. Of course, it will go into depth and like give you reasons why and whatnot, but it is what it is. And Jim Powell says, Hoff, that's what's drinking all that piss water does to your brain. Jim, you have to give Hoffy a pass. He is from like the New England area, and he's a Patriots fan. So you are going to have to give my man a little bit of a pass because he is a Patriots fan and only like Tom Brady. So it is what it is. But guys, let's get into if and then. And the first if and then statement of the day is talk about Kareem Hunt. So as you guys know, Kareem Hunt visited New Orleans Saints and the Indianapolis Colts the last 2 days. However, he left both of those places without a deal. And people that are, quote, close to the Saints says it is because he will be signing with the New Orleans Saints. So he left Indy with no deal because he wants to sign with the New Orleans Saints. So we have to ask this question. If Hunt doesn't truly sign with the New England Colts, then what? Not New England, the Indianapolis Colts, then what? So, guys, I've been kind of going back and forth on this statement. Kareem Hunt is a very, very talented running back. I was so mad as a Chiefs fan right here, Chiefs Kingdom. My Super Bowl flag is coming in like September, just ordered it yesterday. But when Kareem Hunt got cut by the Kansas City Chiefs, like my heart broke. And then when the Browns picked him up, I'm like, oh, Lord, look out for this man. So I think there is a reason why Kareem Hunt did not sign with the Indianapolis Colts. It is not because he doesn't want to be a part of the Colts organization. It is not because they didn't offer him the right contract. It is not because he didn't think he could be a good fit there. I think that maybe the Jonathan Taylor situation is coming to an end. Maybe people close to Kareem Hunt has gotten that word and be like, hey, you are going to be second fiddle again. So if you want to be second fiddle to JT, awesome, but you might be more valuable down in New Orleans, right? So I think that he did not sign with the Indianapolis Colts because of the Jonathan Taylor thing. So if Kareem Hunt doesn't ultimately sign with the Indianapolis Colts, then it is because the Jonathan Taylor saga is about to come to an end in New England. Jim Irsay, Jonathan Taylor, and those boys, they're going to figure something out. He will be on the field come week 1, and that is why Kareem Hunt will not be there. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment. Why do you think Kareem Hunt did not sign with the Indianapolis Colts? Was it because he doesn't want to be with the toxic owner like Jim Irsay? Maybe he realizes, like, hey, I'm not ever going to get paid here, so why do I need to do this, right? It just, like, it is what it is. Let me know. Melvin, he says, are you sure Jim Irsay didn't say something to make him change his mind? No, I am not. Jim Irsay seems like a very bipolar type of person. Now, I'm not trying to say that to be mean or to poke fun at people that are actually bipolar or schizophrenic or whatever, right? But when we look at Jim Irsay, I feel like we see two different people, right? When he is on the Pat McAfee show, he seems like a very down-to-earth, a guy that I want to go have a beer with and like hang out and play slow pitch softball. Like he seems like that type of guy. But when I saw him on the NFL Network last Sunday, when he drove his $1 million RV, basically right there on the practice squad, he looked drunker and higher than I have ever seen a person. He was stumbling around his words. I mean, I stumble around my words because I got a stutter, but I think he was just doing it just because he was like flat out drunk, right? So it was definitely two different people. So maybe Jim Irsay was sipping on a little bit of bourbon. Maybe he was, doing a little sippy, and he may have changed his mind. I don't know. But Jim, thank you for tuning in. He says, got to get back at it at work. Stay toxic. Hossy wears a prescription helmet. Jim, thank you for joining us, man. We will see you next time right here on the Man Hour Man. And Hoffy says, I did ride the short bus to school. See, guys, I have a problem with my co-host. Brandon Combs is like 5'5" and Hoffy's like 5'6". So anything bigger than like a car is like huge to them. So basically it is what it is. Jim Irsay has two personalities before and after cocaine. I don't know if he is a cocaine user, but he definitely has some type of personality. Like he definitely has two different personalities, and whether it's sober Jim and non-sober Jim, like maybe, but he definitely has two different personalities. I agree with that 100%. Arthur Brown is in the chat. What's up, Arthur? Hopefully you're being safe out there. He's the OTA or OTD, over the road, whatever. He says, I think it is all about the money. Plus, the Colts owners is a dick. Guys, I do not want to defend Jim Irsay in any way, shape, or form, because I do think that he does have some type of issues, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's personality issues, whether maybe he's just flat out depressed, right? Maybe it's like it is something. But Jim Irsay did take the Indianapolis Colts from the smallest stadium in the NFL, held the least number of fans to building Lucas Oil Stadium, holding one of the largest. Yeah, he has done good things for the Indianapolis Colts. I don't want to take anything away from him whatsoever, but he's definitely doing good things, but definitely has some type of something, right? LOL. Sorry guys. Hoffy is 5'10". He is not 5'6". My bad. My bad. Melvin Gordon says, I think Hunt in Detroit would be a good move. Let him get a good amount of carries and mentor Gibbs. I'm sure Detroit still has a lot of cap space. So I have said this many, many times right here on the Man Hour, Melvin, and I think that the Detroit Lions are truly just scared to win, right? Their offseason has kind of been questionable at best, right? They traded their whole backfield. They're like, Swift, get out of here. Williams, get out of here. And then they signed Mims. Like, they traded for Denzel Mims. I'm not saying Mims is a terrible guy by any means, but they did not need the receiver help. They need defensive help. Now, I don't know what the backfield looks like for the Detroit Lions right now. I do know they drafted Gibbs, right? Which you never draft a running back in the first round. Red flag number 1. But hey, it is what it is. Like, they do what they got to do. But if you can get a good mentor, right? If somebody can, truly mentor Gibbs, I think it would be Kareem Hunt. He has kind of been ran through the ringer, right? With the Chiefs thing and then, being behind Chubb and like now this. Maybe you are right. Maybe Kareem Hunt to the Detroit Lions is a very good possibility, right? He represents not only himself, he represents the brand. I believe you're talking about Jim Irsay here, Arthur Brown. So Arthur Brown says Jim Irsay represents not only himself, he represents the brand. And if he has an issue, he's going to be pushed to sell. And no one wants to play for an owner with issues. So Jerry Jones has issues, right? And I'm not talking. So let's just say it is not a substance issue. Let's say it's not alcoholism, drugs, whatever. The issue that I see with Jim Irsay and Jerry Jones, and we can even say put Daniel Snyder in this category as well, is they have a ego problem. As a 70-plus-year-old man, right? Jerry Jones, Jim Irsay both took basically bad franchises and made them into what they are today. The Dallas Cowboys are the most lucrative team in America, like $8 billion, right? It is an ego thing. I think they have an ego to stroke. And when they stroke these egos, or when the ego isn't stroked, they feel kind of personally attacked. When somebody like Jonathan Taylor challenges them, they get like, hey, look at this muscle. This is my team, right? But when Andrew Luck wants to retire, like, hey, I understand your body, your health. Here's $24 million. You do you, kid. Now, I know what people are going to say right off the bat. Oh, it's a race thing. It is not a race thing. It is not a race thing. With the whole Jerry Jones things, taking pictures with like the black people back in like the 50s or whatever it was, it is not a race thing. It is an ego thing. When the players are not scratching the owner's ego, they're going to throw them under the bus. It is what it is. Melvin says, I can agree with that. And I was just going to mention Snyder before you said something. Most owners that have that larger-than-life personality, Daniel Snyder, Jim Irsay, Jerry Jones, you can maybe put the Patriots, Robert Kraft in there. that ego has to be scratched every now and then. And when players do not scratch that ego, it is what it is, right? And sometimes all egos have to be scratched, and that is why I have a co-host by the name of Hoffy. Hoffy, welcome to the show. I hope you are here.
You keep Robert Kraft's name out of your mouth.
Oh my Lord! Why did you come here and scratch scratch my
him
ego?
And Jim Irsay.
They all like rub downs.
One likes foot rubs. The other one likes stuff up his nose. There's a difference.
Allegedly. But
allegedly, thank you.
But Hoffy, welcome to the show. You are the man behind the chat, dropping those Raider stats there. I am glad that you posted that because Raider fans are all up in arms. But welcome to the show, man.
Sorry, I'm glad I couldn't find my prescription helmet.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. And Melvin says the Fords are sort of the same way as others mentioned too. So I would say the Fords. And who was the owners of the Bears? Do you remember their names off the top of their head? The lady of the Bears owner. Shoot, what is her name? Virginia
McCaskey.
McCaskey, yeah. So like there are probably 5 or 6 owners, Hoffy. I feel like in the NFL, like you really truly do have to like scratch their egos, right? Like you have to like, hey, you're doing a good job, boss. You're doing a good job. But let's move on. And speaking, hang on.
Those guys are going to town today, huh?
Yeah, those freaking. Did you like? I should have the camera pointed that way because there's like following Mexicans like every like 5-10 minutes over there. It's kind of really crazy. But Arthur Brown says, "Hoffy, my boy, is a future Dolphin."
You damn right.
No, he's not.
Hold on, I got something for him.
Okay. As you are going there, Hoffy, I am going to move on to the next topic, and then you can show Arthur Brown what you have for him here. But moving on. Aaron Rodgers has been offering advice to young quarterbacks as of late. Recently to Bryce Young. He's been talking to Deshaun Watson, obviously mentoring Zach Wilson in a very public eye there. Hoffy, we can't see that. I'll switch you over there in a minute. But I have to ask this question. If Aaron Rodgers has offered all this advice to these young quarterbacks now, and he offered it to Love in the last 3 or 4 years that he was with Jordan Love, then what? Guys, if Aaron Rodgers did offer Jordan Love the advice that he is offering Bryce Young, Deshaun Watson, Zach Wilson, Jordan Love is going to be a really, really good quarterback. No matter how many reps he took in the games or practices or whatever, when you get to have that mentorship, just like hearing and knowing how to prepare and doing this and doing that, Jordan Love is going to be set up for success. Jordan Love will be the best quarterback in the NFC North. Better than Kirk Cousins, better than Jared Goff, better than Justin Fields, better than Brendan Hooker, Teddy Bridgewater, whoever you want. Jordan Love is that guy. And if Aaron Rodgers gave half the advice that he's given these other players, he's going to be a very wise old man, far beyond his age at the young age of 24 years old. Look out, NFC North. Packers are coming, and stay tuned as they break them down eventually. But Hoffy, go ahead and pop up that little image you have for Arthur Brown. Tuga, is that an autographed Tua jersey? My man.
Yeah, buddy.
That's a nice looking jersey. Nice looking jersey.
I'll have to put it on the backdrop just for Arthur Brown.
Yeah, there you go. Melvin says, no, you stay in New England, damn it. Melvin must be a Dolphins fan, too. A lot of Dolphins fans in there today. He says, get out of here. So let's talk about Aaron Rodgers here. So Rodgers is giving advice to these young players. Hoffy, as from obviously we are outsiders looking into this situation. We are not Packers fans. We are not really diving into Packers camp a lot. But from what we've seen of Aaron Rodgers the last few weeks, do you think he truly offered some advice to Jordan Love like he's doing these other guys?
I think that he did. I don't think that he offered as much advice as what he's doing with the Jets, from what it sounds like. But I don't think you can't look at the small body of work that the Packers had last year when their quarterback came in for Rodgers when he had his ankle injury. I mean, he looked like Rodgers 2.0. So I think he did help some, but I mean, I'm sure a lot of it was also just sitting back and watching Aaron Rodgers too.
Yeah. So do you think so? I've actually been on a debate here on Facebook as of late, and I just noticed that I forgot to change the date at the top of the screen, guys. It is August 10th, not August 8th. But with that being said, I think Aaron Rodgers right now is going above and beyond over anybody's expectations because he knows damn well he does not want to be in New York. He is saying all of the right things. He is taking the pay cut. He is mentoring these young guys, talking to everybody, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, I think truly deep down, Aaron Rodgers wants to be a San Francisco 49er. There's a reason why he didn't go to San Francisco this year. Because for one, his ridiculously salary that he was going to be owed this year was like $50 million or something, right? The 49ers did have Brock Purdy and Trey Lance still. We don't know what they're going to be yet, but give him one more year. So Aaron Rodgers is saying all the right things, doing all the right things in New York to get to San Francisco by next year. And by talking to these young players, publicly talking to these young players, it has given the San Francisco 49ers ammunition to bring him in, to mentor Brock Purdy, to mentor maybe Trey Lance, to do a little bit of this and like a little bit of that. So I think this is being publicized because of that. So I could be 100% wrong, which I'm not normally, but Arthur Brown says, hell yeah, you go Hoffy. Yeah, you go Hoffy. Get that jersey. Moving on. Talking about those Green Bay Packers, A.J. Dillon is looking to become a more punishing running back versus defenses in 2023. So we got to ask the question, if A.J. Dillon is a wrecking ball in 2023, then what? So, guys, the Green Bay Packers will have, quote, kind of a rookie quarterback this year in Jordan Love. Yes, he is a fifth year player, but this will be his first year starting. They do have a young receiver core in Dobbs and Watson, and the list goes on and on and on. They do have a veteran offensive line, a semi-good defense, but if A.J. Dillon can do what he's been doing the last couple seasons, in 2021 he had 803 yards, last year he had 770 with the 4.3 average with 7 touchdowns, then that's going to be very, very good for the Green Bay Packers. Having a 1-2 punch in the backfield is amazing. Between him and Aaron Jones, look out, baby. All Jordan Love has to do is manage the game. This is a perfect opportunity for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. If A.J. Dillon can truly be a more punishing running back, you would have the yin to the yang with A.J. Jones, or sorry, with Aaron Jones. And with that being said, my prediction will hold true. They will be a 12-win team. If A.J. Dillon can be that dude, get in your face, pound it on for your 4 yards a carry every time he is like he's in there, going to open up the passing game, going to take the pressure off the defense, going to take the pressure off of Jordan Love, going to let the team play more freely. Bada bing, bada boom, 12 wins. Bada bing, bada boom, Hoffy, NFC Championship. A.J. Dillon.
I agree. I mean, 88% of his runs are positive. 63.5% of his yards are yards after contact. I mean, he averages 2.6 yards after contact. I mean, he's been a wrecking ball his whole career. So, yeah. I, like you said, the yin to the yang with Jones.
Yeah, which is very, very good for a young quarterback. And Melvin pops in the chat here, and he says, "What has been seen from Love in camp to give the Pack some hope, though, right?" So I have been passively watching some inter-squad scrimmage here because Cincinnati is our local team, right? It's only like 40 minutes down the road. I got to see some live practices with the Bengals and the Packers yesterday, right? And with that being said, Jordan Love does look really good on the field. Jordan Love does look very comfortable. Jordan Love seems to be taking the reins of the field or reins of the team 100%. And when you have a running back like A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, it is going to be a lot easier, right? So, yes, the Packers should have very high hopes this season. And when I predicted 12 wins, people blew up like, what? They're going to get last place, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I don't know. Hafi, do you have any faith in Jordan Love? Do you think Jordan Love is going to be at least a top 2 quarterback in the AFC or in the NFC North?
Absolutely. I mean, the body of work that he put in against was it the Eagles last year when Aaron Rodgers was injured. I mean, they were down big, and he brought him back to within like 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he looked fantastic in that game. So if I'm going to go off of body of work and what we've seen in live games, more so than what we see in preseason, and I've even been impressed in the preseason, I think he absolutely should be. Heck, I'd even be comfortable saying that he should be the best in the NFC North after this. I mean, who we talking about? Justin Fields?
I mean, Justin Fields should be improved, but we'll be talking about this later, but Kirk Cousins is historically a 4,000-yard passer each and every year. Every time he plays a full season in the NFL, he does pass the ball for 4,000 plus yards and 20 plus touchdowns.
Yeah, but we talked about this a couple weeks ago. They had a pretty good record last year, but most of their wins were within 7 points. And I think we talked about the stats the following year don't tend to work out in their favor for that. So I'm expecting a drop off in play from the Vikings this year.
Yeah, and they also had a negative point differential as well as last year, meaning that the opponents actually scored more points than them last season, even though they were a 13-win team last year or 12. I can't remember for sure. But yeah, it was very, very odd for the Vikings last year. But David, I don't mind changing the subject up a little bit. You want to talk about my Kansas City Chiefs? We will talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. And he says not to change the subject, but how did Isaiah Pacheco fall to the 7th round? So when we look at last year's draft was very wide receiver, running back heavy. Let's just be honest, right? Now, the reason why I think Isaiah Pacheco fell to the 7th round is for 2, maybe 3 reasons, right? Reason number 1, he is a running back, right? And at the time, a lot of the teams that needed running backs did not want a rookie quarterback. They were looking for that veteran running back. When we flash back to the 2022 season, there were not a lot of free agent running backs. Now, 2023 was the year of all the free agents of the running backs. Saquon Barkley, Zeke, right? Leonard Fournette, Eckler. So they were. I feel like a lot of teams that were going to want to get a running back. They were going to wait to get that proven back in Zeke or Saquon or Austin Eckler. Right now, number 2, Austin Eckler did play in the Big Ten. We all know what they do in the Big Ten, right? They run the piss out of the ball. It is a black and blue division. They're going to run up and down the field, so Isaiah Pacheco is going to have a lot of tread worn on those tires. Now, he is only 5'10". He's 5'10", like 180-some pounds. Not really a good size for a running back in the NFL, is it? And reason number 3, he played at Rutgers. Rutgers is not historically a football school. Rutgers historically doesn't put out very good NFL talent. And historically, have you ever watched a Rutgers game, Hoffy? I know I haven't.
No, I mean, just pulling up the stats, he had 44 games, 2,400 yards. That's an average of 55 yards a game. And like you just said, it's with the Rutgers. So that's not mind-blowing numbers. He only had 19 touchdowns. I think a lot of it has to do with the system as well that he is, put in.
Yeah.
I mean, got one of the best offensive coordinators, and I mean not anymore, but in Eric Bieniemy, as well as a head coach, is that sets them up to be successful.
Yeah, yeah, and he says, Melvin says, Paseka went round 3 or even round 2 in my fantasy draft. So, first things first, I don't understand why people are drafting running backs that high. You can get running backs in the 6th, 7th round, especially with the age of the quarterback and the receiver. You should be drafting receiver, quarterback, and then thinking about running back, unless it is like a Saquon Barkley here, because Isaiah Pacheco did only put up 800 yards last season for 5 touchdowns. Not a fantasy juggernaut by any means. And if we're talking about fantasy football here, the Kansas City Chiefs have 3 running backs that they use. They have Clyde, they have Jarrett McKinnon, and they have Isaiah Pacheco. So I'm not for sure why you guys are drafting him that high, Melvin, but whoever did that is wrong. Hopefully that wasn't you. Something to say, Javi?
No, I agree with you.
Sorry, my mic freaked out on me. I don't know what's going on. It's getting ready to fall down. Oh well, it is what it is. At the end of the day, he says 3 clouds, dirt, and a punt. I believe you're saying 3 yards and a cloud of dirt. Like that was my offense.
Or are you talking about Mac Jones?
Jeez, get Mac Jones' name out your mouth. Out of your mouth. Moving on. With that being said, Hoffy, we were just talking about my man, Kirk Cousins, and Vikings owner Mark Wolf is hyper-focused on 2023 and not on Kirk Cousins' contract. If this is true, then what? So we just spoke on Kirk Cousins' stats, right? Kirk Cousins has a career 69% completion percentage. And the last 3 seasons alone, he has 4,200 yards for 35 touchdowns. 2 seasons ago, 4,200 yards for 33 touchdowns. And last season, 4,500 yards for 29 touchdowns. Every time Kirk Cousins plays a full NFL season, he throws for over 4,000 yards. The only time in 2019 when he played 15 games, he still had 3,600 yards, which he probably would have got if he would have played that last game. So, with that being said, if the Vikings ownership is truly not worried about Kirk Cousins' contract, then Kirk Cousins has one foot out the door. For whatever reason, Kirk Cousins does not get the praise that he gets. People do not like Kirk Cousins because of his primetime woes, of his playoff woes, whatever. But the stats don't lie. Kirk Cousins puts up the numbers. Kirk Cousins wins you a lot of games. Now, is he going to get you to the Super Bowl? He will need some help. He will need a JJ plus somebody else. Thielen is gone. Who was going to be that number 2 guy? I don't know. Dalvin Cook is gone. Yes, I do know they have a young rookie and a solid running back, but Kirk Cousins will need that help. So, Hoffy, when we truly look at the Vikings ownership and they're not worried about their starting quarterback that has been there for the last 5 seasons, that has won you a lot of games, that has consistently thrown over 4,000 yards with 30 plus touchdowns, how can you not be worried about that contract? If this is true and the Vikings ownership is not worried about Kirk Cousins' contract, then the simple fact of the matter is they are going to draft a quarterback next year. They are going to go after Caleb Williams. They are going to go after maybe a free agent. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater comes back to town. I don't know. Maybe Hooker, some type of trade. But they are going to get Kirk Cousins out of town one way or the other, and this is a bad look for the Minnesota Vikings, 100%.
Well, they got 4 primetime games this coming season, so there's 4 losses right off the bat to add on to their record.
Okay.
I still don't think they'll be in position to draft someone like Caleb Williams, who's probably going to be number 1 pick, top 5. I don't see them being there. But I agree with you. I mean, he's 34 years old. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl without help. So I agree. I do think they're probably looking to draft the quarterback of the future, or figure something else out via a signing or a trade.
So speaking of trade, there are several teams that are loaded with the quarterback position right here, right? San Francisco 49ers, they have 3 starting quarterbacks that at some point started in the NFL. Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold from the New York Jets, and then the Panthers, and now he's with the 49ers here. Then you look at New York, you have Zach Wilson. Then let's travel down to Tampa Bay. You have Kyle Trask that can possibly be a starter, right? Dallas Cowboys have Josh Rosen. I think if he gets a true fair shake, he can win some games in the NFL. So, do you think that the Vikings will make a trade, make a play to do like a sign and trade for Kirk Cousins and try to get a quarterback of the future?
Who's going to take Kirk Cousins in trade besides the Washington non-football team?
I don't think he would go back to Washington, but
I agree. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean,
he's 34. He wants a 3-year extension or 3-year contract.
I think you'd have to go to a team that is built to win now, that is truly a quarterback away. Now, are the San Francisco 49ers a quarterback away? We will be discussing that here in the next few minutes here. But let's say Brock Purdy fails this season. Let's say Trey Lance fails this season, and they're just not very good. Then do the 49ers make a play? I could see it. Like I think
reunion?
What?
He was, offensive. Wasn't he the offensive coordinator?
For the Washington Commanders? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yep.
Yeah, maybe obviously we're just totally speculating here, throwing spaghetti at a wall. Hopefully something
I could
sticks.
see it. I could see them, especially if Brock Purdy is your number one to start this season. Maybe they do keep Sam Darnold as the backup. They offload Trey Lance. Maybe the Vikings can, a draft pick, and I don't think they'll want Kirk Cousins. Maybe they do take Kirk Cousins and cut Darnold, trade Lance over to the Vikings. I mean, that's really the only realistic expectation that I could see potentially happen. I don't see it happening, but that would be one spot that I could see as a viable landing spot.
Yeah, and obviously barring injury, like we're not predicting injury or wishing injury on anybody, but if injury does happen next year, hell, maybe he goes to the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens say, hey, Lamar Jackson, you are truly trash. We overpaid you. You are overpaid. Get out of town. Jalen Hurts, overrated, overpaid. Get out of town.
Not happening.
Freddie Henderson is in the chat. Give us with the little
Alabama's quarterback university. You know that.
Yeah, that was a great post, by the way. What's up, Freddie? Hope you're having a grand old day there, man. Flex those muscles. And David, everyone good. I think he's saying everybody have a good day Hoffy, if you don't know, David is from California, so it's like 7 a.m. right there right now. So that man got up early to join us right here on the Man Hour, and definitely appreciate everything, David.
Probably still brewing his morning coffee.
Shoot. Speaking of which, we have a potential sponsor coming, Hoffy. I'm glad you brought that up. So SoberVetCoffee.com has reached out to us about a potential partnership. So as you guys know, suicide awareness is very near and dear to our heart with like my dad and Combs and everything else. So Vet Coffee has reached out. Sober Vet Coffee has reached out and potential sponsorship. We'll see what happens, Hoffy.
It's because Hoffy's on the show, right?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
I still get a kick out of Combs' wedding and his mom calling me coffee the whole entire time.
I love it. I totally forgot about that. Man, that was such a good time. We had such a good time there. So speaking of good time, the Washington Commanders defensive end Chase Young says he's feeling explosive again. He's feeling 100%, and he feels like he is about ready to make some noise in the NFL. So as you guys know, Chase Young is coming off an ACL injury from last season, just played 3 games at the very tail end of the season, had 3 tackles in 3 games last year, and he's entering the 4th year of his contract, of his rookie deal. Over his 3 years that he has been in the NFL so far, he has just played 27 career games with 9 sacks and 50 tackles and 6 forced fumbles. So we have to ask the question, if Chase Young is 100%, then what? When we look back at the Washington Commanders just 2 years ago, Torrey Anderson sat here on the other side of the desk, and he said the Washington football team at the time was going to be a 13-win team. Ryan Fitzpatrick was their quarterback. Chase Young was coming off a stellar second season. They were just looking like they were going to tear the NFL apart. Then obviously injuries happen. The defense goes down with some injuries. Offense goes down with some injuries. And they're an 8-win team. So with that being said, if Chase Young truly is 100% and is explosive again, it doesn't really matter. The Washington Commanders are just, they are built to be a subpar team. Yes, I do like Chase Young as a player, but there is a reason why there has been so many trade talks, trade rumors of getting Chase Young out of town, right? Whether he's not given the effort, whether he doesn't fit the new scheme, whatever it is, there's a reason why Chase Young has been linked to trade rumors. So whether Chase Young is 100% or not, it is not going to make a difference for the Washington Commanders. It is not going to make a difference in their record. It's not going to make a difference in their defensive production. It is not going to make a difference at their playoff run because they're not going to make the playoffs. Get out of here. It doesn't matter. Hoffy, thoughts?
I'd like to say you're wrong, but the Commanders finished 4th last year as overall defense, and that was without Young. So you got to think that adding him is going to be beneficial to him, provided their numbers are a little skewed. They played a lot of backup quarterbacks last year, but defense isn't going to be their issue. Who the hell is their quarterback? They finished 8-8 last year.
Yeah, their quarterback right now is it'll be Sam Howell, which people are saying Sam Howell is looking good. I actually have not watched the Commanders
8-1.
Yeah, which I have not watched the Commanders camp as closely as I should. But they say Sam Howell is looking good. He's looking explosive, and he could be the second best quarterback in the NFC East. So, I mean, possibly. I just for some reason I'm just.
They've been hanging out with Jim Irsay.
What Sam Howell went to? Was it North Carolina? He is from. I can't remember for sure.
Yeah,
but I don't understand the hype
over Danny Dimes, over Dak.
Yeah, over Jalen Hurts. Well, I think Jalen Hurts is a little bit overpaid, maybe a little bit overrated. Maybe
he might be
jumping
overpaid, but he's not. Doesn't mean that he's overplayed.
I mean, he definitely had a very good season last year. If you want to talk about Jalen Hurts, he did have a very good season last year, but we were talking about he had to have a prove-it year. He goes from not on the top 100 to number 3 player in the NFL, the number 2 ranked quarterback in the NFL. I don't know. I think he's a little overrated.
Yeah, he's not even the number 3 quarterback, and never mind of top 100 of NFL players.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Reference to Pacheco. Everyone good. I'm not for sure what David's trying to say there. But Hoffy, there is a segment that I like to bring back here. And you are scouring the old interwebs. You've been active in the Facebook chat underneath your Man Hour Hoffy page there. You guys are not following that or liking that page, do it. Man space hour space Hoffy. My man sent me a toxic comment of the day. And let's get toxic comment of the day. So Hoffy, you sent me this post, and I don't remember exactly what it is from here. So first things first is, where did the post come from?
I'll find it.
Okay. Well, guys, if you see it here, Jamie Hill That's right. I'm going to drop some names here. And Hoffy and Jamie were having a debate back and forth. And basically, Jamie said, somebody has to. Why not the Jags? It will be Buffalo this year with the whole Hamlin thing. And then Javi says, this is not the NFL. Or, sorry, this is the NFL, not the WWE. And Jamie says the NFL is scripted.
It was your Trevor Lawrence post.
That's right. So Trevor Lawrence is the number 14th ranked quarterback. Yeah. So Jamie is basically saying that the NFL has a script for the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl this year because the whole of the Lamar Hamlin thing last year, and the Jacksonville Jaguars will win it next year because the NFL is scripted. So first things first here, Jamie, if we were truly going to talk about about the Hamlin thing, wouldn't last year, Hoffy, make a little bit more sense for the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl? Hey, win it for Hamlin. Do a little bit of this. Wouldn't that keep their name in the mouth a little bit better?
Absolutely. And, I mean, he followed that toxic tweet post up with, a response to my comment of saying, does that mean that during Spygate and Deflategate, the script was written for the Patriots to win after cheating? And he said, absolutely.
Jeez. Guys, the NFL is not scripted. I am so sick and tired of people saying that the NFL is scripted. If it is so scripted, why are not the biggest fan bases winning, right? Why are the Dallas Cowboys not going to the Super Bowl year after year after year? Why are the New England Patriots not going to the Super Bowl year after year after year after year? Obviously
they are.
They aren't anymore, but they did, right? But obviously, if the NFL wants to script something out, they are going to want to get the two biggest team names out there. And let's just be honest, the biggest team name out there is the Dallas Cowboys. If you put the Dallas Cowboys on any title, I guarantee you right here on YouTube, we're going to get 1,000+ views. Never fails. 1,000+ views, boom, because the Dallas Cowboys are in there, right? And then right now, Lamar Jackson. If you put Lamar Jackson names out there, bada bing, bada boom, there's 5,000 views because you're talking shit on Lamar Jackson.
How about a Jets versus the Giants Super Bowl?
Oh my God, that would be the worst Super Bowl of all time because that would literally alienate 85% of the country. Let's just be honest. Literally, because either you love the Jets or you hate them. Actually, I feel like the Giants are like the team you don't love but you don't hate either, right? Oh, it's just the Giants. Who really cares about them? And in the Jets haven't been relevant for so freaking long. It's just the Jets, right? But I don't know. It is what it is. Are you ready to talk about some San Francisco 49ers, man?
Yeah. Let's see if you can jump on the bandwagon.
I am all aboard that bandwagon, possibly. But guys, we are bringing a segment here called, man, I get something in my ear. Get out of there. Don't you hate when something's in your ear, Hoffy, you just can't get it? Man.
You got a little snake tongue in your ear?
No, it's those damn Mexicans. Oh. Seriously though, Hoffy,
live, raw, and uncut.
I'm gonna have to point it because seriously, every 10 minutes I see one of them jumping down. I don't know what I mean. They must be throwing shingles up there, but it's pew pew. Now they're right. Oh my God, y'all need to hurry up. But Anthony Price is in the chat. I almost swept over that, but he says not an Eagles fan, but if you think Hurts is overpaid, then the same with Lamar Jackson. Duh. Are you new here, Anthony? Are you new here, Anthony? Lamar Jackson is the most overrated, the most overpaid, but he is the biggest trash quarterback out there. Lamar Jackson just isn't a good quarterback. He is overpaid. Jeez. That is why the Baltimore Ravens will never win a playoff game. That is why the Baltimore Ravens will never win a Super Bowl. It's because they are literally handcuffed by Lamar Jackson's contract. Hoffy, There was at one point, there was a stat where every franchise that paid a quarterback $100 million did not win a playoff game for the next like 4 or 5 years. Now, obviously that has changed, but that was when like Matthew Stafford got that $100 million deal. Kirk Cousins got the $100 million deal. Like it was just like it was very, very nerve wracking. And now I feel like minus Patrick Mahomes, but anybody that gets
I got a serious question for you.
Go ahead.
Who is the best quarterback in the NFL right now?
Obviously it's Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. And when he signed his contract, it was the richest quarterback contract in history.
It was
He is now what, the 10th highest paid quarterback right now in the league?
So let's just pause on that. So those numbers were very, very skewed. Yes, he did sign a $500 million contract, but it was over 10 years, right? So, yes, that's still pretty good number. Like I'm not saying like $10, $15 million, $20 million is nothing to sneeze about, but you have to look at that contract. It is structured very backloaded. So he was getting $2 million his first year, and then $5 million, and then $6 million. And then, so yes, it was a very lucrative contract, but now you're seeing 4 years, $300 million deals, right?
Right. And what I'm just saying is that he is, we can agree, clearly the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yes.
Headed towards, the GOAT conversation, yet he is the 10th highest paid quarterback in the league.
There is a reason. It's because you have to surround yourself with good people. Correct me if I'm wrong, was Tom Brady ever a top 10 paid quarterback in the NFL? Because I feel like
he was, but he took pay cut over pay cut every year.
Yeah, because he knew he needed to surround himself with good defenses, with good players. So when you see these contracts like Lamar Jackson and now Jalen Hurts, right? Are they going to follow suit? Are they going to take a pay cut? Patrick Mahomes has already taken a quote pay cut, aka made his salary into signing bonuses to get Chris Jones to stay, to get Travis Kelce paid, right? But I don't know. It is what it is. Anthony Price is new here. So Anthony, welcome to the show. I didn't mean to oust you on your first, on your first time here, but hopefully you are going to enjoy, some live, raw, uncut NFL talk here. We are live every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time. Like, comment, subscribe.
So Tom Brady did not become the highest earning overall his career over year till his 22nd NFL season, and that is when he amassed $303 million.
That's career earnings, right?
Right. So it took him 22 years to make the most of any NFL player combined.
Sheesh. That's just crazy. But speaking of combined, San Francisco 49ers have combined the last 2 seasons to 2 NFC championship games. Not 1, but 2. Yes, they have not fared out well past that game, but hey, it is what it is. This year, this offseason, earlier I predicted the 49ers to not to be very well. I predicted them to be an 8-win team. Hoffy. So as we enter in the second segment of the show here, stock up or stock down, it is going to be geared toward the San Francisco 49ers. I have had the privilege of getting a chance to watch their camp via their live stream on Twitter, and I have been fairly impressed. I have I have enjoyed seeing the growth of Brock Purdy. He seems to be taking the team by the reins and really being a leader out there, right? As a second-year player, as the very last pick of the NFL draft last season, and now he's becoming a leader and really grabbing that team by the horns. I am liking the growth of Ray McCloud, like the third as well. Greenlaw looks like one of the best linebackers in the league. Look out for that man. But when you go stock up, there's always got to be a little bit of stock down. And right now, some of the biggest red flags is the absence of Nick Bosa on that team. Hoffy, Nick Bosa is holding out because he wants to get paid. He wants some dollar bills. He wants some Aaron Donald money. He wants some Quentin Williams money. He wants some Chris Jones money. He is entering the final year of his rookie deal as well. But some of the biggest, best offseason moves this offseason for the San Francisco 49ers was the addition of Willie Snead IV. As you guys know, Willie Snead is from the Saints and the Ravens the last couple seasons, but last year he did spin with the Panthers. But adding a veteran to their wide receiver core with Debo, Brandon Ayuk, and etc. looks to be very, very well. Also, on the flip side of the coin, the San Francisco 49ers had the 15th hardest schedule going into the NFL 2023 season. 32 teams in the NFL, so right there in the middle. So, guys, earlier this season, like I said, back in May or June, I had them going as an 8-win team. After watching some camp, after watching some OTAs, and I'm getting ready to watch some preseason game as well for them moving forward, guys, the San Francisco 49ers stock is up. Their stock is up. I am starting to like this 49ers team a little bit. The growth of Brock Purdy is kind of what's really setting me over the edge. Now, I have to see it in live action. As I forgot who said it. Was it I think it was Alpha Rob said it. They are playing with fake bullets now. Let's see some real bullets, right? Let me see the real bullets in that gun and see if Brock Purdy is gun shy after that elbow injury. Now, but as of right now, stock is up, Hoffy, for the San Francisco 49ers. I like what they're doing. And can I say, all aboard the hype train? I think the 49ers hype is starting to be a little bit real. I've been deemed a 49ers hater, but hey, all aboard, baby.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the Steelers. You know, they always kind of tend to struggle out the gate. That's who they open the season in with. They then play the Rams, which we know are rebuilding. You got the Giants, who, let's be honest, they're the Giants. You got the Cardinals, and then you got the Cowboys. So they should definitely be going into Dallas at 4-0. You got Dallas, Cleveland, and then you got Vikings in primetime. We all know Kirk Cousins isn't showing up for that. So I think a lot of people are saying 14-3. I think they have some tough games, but I think worst case scenario should be 12 wins. I think that's enough to get it done in the NFC West. I think the only other team they're going to be competing with is the Seahawks, and I don't think the Seahawks will amass more than 10 wins. 11 would be a great season as far as I'm concerned for the Seahawks.
Yeah, and that's actually where I have the Seahawks as of right now. And I believe I had the 49ers beating them twice. So as we break it down here, and again, a couple weeks, we'll definitely see where I have the 49ers, but I'm definitely liking the 49ers as of right now from what I've seen in camp, in mini camp, and inter-squad scrimmages and whatnot is good things. Anthony Price says, I still don't believe in Trey Lance. That's a big bust. So me and Hoffy off the air have been talking a little bit about Trey Lance. Or was it yesterday or 2 days ago, Hoffy? Trey Lance hasn't played a full season since 2019 at North Dakota State. In his NFL career, he has not played a season for more than 3 games. So to put that bust label on a guy that really hasn't had a chance to prove it, from the broken leg to the concussion to just being a backup, I'm not saying he is not a bust, but I don't think we can put the bust label on him yet. Because if you don't get a fair shake, can you really be deemed a bust? Josh Rosen, for example, is he a bust? Because he was drafted first overall by the Arizona Cardinals, right? Out 1 year, then he's been the Miami Dolphins, he's with the Cowboys, he's been with the Broncos, like all over. So the Bucks, yeah. Hoffy, do you think Trey Lance is a bust?
No, I mean they drafted him number 2, right?
Yeah.
But they drafted him with the expectation of him sitting behind Jimmy Garoppolo for a year.
Right.
They handed the reins to him last year. He was doing great until the broken leg.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
I don't think we can label him a bust. In fact, I think Mac Jones is a viable starter for the Patriots. I would gladly swap them out.
Really? I mean, I think it would be a good swap one way or the other. But we are coming toward the end of the show here, Hoffy. And here at the end of the show here, we're going to give you a couple things to look forward for this weekend. Preseason does start tonight, guys. I think it's 8:00. Preseason start here. But I'm going to give you 4 preseason games that I am looking forward to watching here and why. The first game that I got here is the Texans versus the Patriots. What I'm looking for in this game is the CJ Stroud. People are saying he's been looking great in camp, throwing dimes, taking leadership, but bullets, fake bullets, real bullets, right? As like as Alpha Rob says, I want to see CJ Stroud on an NFL field versus the New England Patriots. And I also want to see Davis Mills. Is Davis Mills truly going to give him a good push to become the starter, or is Davis Mills just kind of happy being backup? As far as the Patriots, I am looking forward to see their new look offense. Hoffy, you are a Patriots fan, and we know what it's going to be like, kind of, but I am looking to see what the offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien, brings to that team. And I'm also looking to look for Demario Douglas as well. This guy has had a great camp. I see him all over the NFL channel, all over blogs. This guy has had an explosive camp, and I'm looking forward to see him, and also Juju as well. Hoffy, what are you looking forward to during these Texans-Patriots game?
I'm looking forward to sitting in the stands and pounding some beers.
There you go. You going to be at that preseason game?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be tailgating at 4 o'clock, all ready to go.
There you go. That's just a couple hours away. That game is tonight. So enjoy that game, Hoppy, 100%. Moving on to the next game here that I'm looking forward to here is the Steelers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What am I looking for in this game? I'm looking at the Bucs quarterback situation. It is Baker Mayfield versus Kyle Trask. It has been over and over and over. Baker Mayfield is set to get the start tonight, or actually Friday night, versus the Steelers. So I'm looking forward to see if Baker can really lead that team and be a good, valuable quarterback for the Buccaneers moving forward. Also, I'm looking for that 3-headed monster in the rushing game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were dead last in 2022, but they do have Rachaad White, Chase Edmonds, and Keyshawn Vaughn. Are they going to truly have a 3-headed monster there, or are they going to maybe pull out a guy and make somebody the guy, which I think they need to do that. Also, looking forward to Joey Porter Jr. for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joey Porter Jr. is reported to be having a great camp, looking very explosive and looking to be the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense there. And I want to see the addition of Allen Robinson II, see how they will work him into the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. We'll be talking about that. So, Hoffy, anything about that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing, the progression of Kenny Pickett, see how he does.
Yep.
Another year under his belt with, his star wide receiver. So, the good old days of Patriots-Steelers rivalry with, Porter, Hines, and them. I'm excited to see, Porter Jr. as well. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Porter is on that coaching staff too.
I don't know about that. I don't know much about the Steelers coaching staff, unfortunately. All I know is that Mike Tomlin is one of the greatest coaches of all time and never has a losing season. Moving on to the next game here. The next game that I'm looking forward to is the Packers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. What am I looking for here? I am looking for Jordan Love. I not only Jordan Love's play, I'm looking at the connection, the chemistry that he has with Watson, Dobbs, and Jalen Reed as receiver core. I think Watson, Dobbs, and Jalen Reed is going to be a very, very dangerous receiver core in the NFL, and I'm looking see how Jordan Love can make them better and improve them. On the Bengals side of things, I'm not looking too much of the Bengals team. I'm not going to look too much into it, but I'm looking at the backup quarterback situation because Joe Burrow is obviously dealing with a strained calf here. Week 1 is in question, so who is going to be that starter come week 1 if Joe Burrow is not the guy? We have basically a second-string race between Trevor Siemian and Reed Stennett. We'll see what happens. Trevor Siemian is kind of that journeyman backup, and Reed Stennett is a second-year player from Nevada or San Diego State. I cannot remember for sure, but I am looking forward to see that true quarterback battle. to see who wants to step up and be the guy. Hoffy, anything you want to look for in this game?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head with that, really, of what to watch for. And Joey Porter is the defensive assistant coach for the Steelers.
Is he a linebacker coach or just the assistant in general?
Defensive assistant.
There you go. All right, so the final game that we are going that I'm looking forward to this weekend, this week 1 of the NFL preseason game, is the Denver Broncos versus the Arizona Cardinals. On paper, like, what? Why is this game very, 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 very important? Because I want to see the growth of Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. Did Russell Wilson finally take a couple steps forward, or is he still living in that 2022 season? Because we've seen it from Kurt Warner, right? Kurt Warner had a really bad year with the New York Giants, and then he went to the Arizona Cardinals, and then had a Hall of Fame career, won a Super Bowl, did really, really good things. I wonder if Russell Wilson can do that as well. I also want to see the fit of Marvin Vins Jr., the second-round draft pick from Oklahoma. How is he going to fit into the Sean Payton offense? He is a nice, fast, shifty wide receiver, and I want to see Frank Clark. Not as a Chiefs fan, but Frank Clark is now with the Denver Broncos, and I want to see how he fits into that. Will he fill that Von Miller role that he voided a couple years ago?
You're gonna throw up in your mouth when you see him in that orange outfit.
Yeah, I definitely am. It is like when Derek Thomas went over to the Denver Broncos. Like, what? Come on, man. Sorry, not Derek Thomas, but Neil Smith. It was just come on. The next thing that I'm looking for is on the Arizona Cardinals side of things. Obviously, Kyler Murray is out. I want to see if Colt McCoy is truly better than Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals. I said it last year that I think Colt McCoy is the better fit for the Arizona Cardinals. Now it's time for Colt McCoy to prove it. Also, want to see backup quarterback Clay Tune, 5th round draft pick from Houston. See what he can do as the backup. And I also want to see a third season jump from my man Rondale Moore from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. Went to Purdue University. I want to see him make that 3rd-year jump. Can he finally be a receiver that we all thought he could be? Hoffy, anything on that game?
I'm going to add in Isaiah Simmons.
Yep. His move from linebacker to strong safety, I think that's going to be very, very eye-catching, 100%. I wonder how many personal fouls he is going to get from destroying some receivers going over the middle. Because
another game I want to add.
Yep.
To our lovely, shitty ass Raiders fans. It's a good old Niners Raiders on Sunday.
Yep. What are you looking for in that game? Are you looking for a little bit of Jimmy G versus his old team?
Yeah, I'm interested to kind of see what, Jimmy G against his old team,
yep.
Purdy and Lance and Darnold. See kind of who's going to be the front runner coming out of that game from that.
Yeah,
I wish this was a regular season game. I think it would be a great game, but
yeah,
Niners Raiders is always a game, no matter preseason or regular season playoff.
And I would like to see a Devontae Adams versus Deebo Samuel like head-to-head battle, that type of thing.
Put each of them on defense for one series.
Yeah, right. That would be awesome. But guys, that is going to be it for today's show. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and subscribe. We are live, raw, uncut every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time. We will be posting clips from today's show every 3 hours, noon, 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m., midnight, 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m. It goes on and on and on. Every 3 hours, guys, we're posting something over there on the Facebook page. And After Hours show is coming. I have a start date of my new hire. Once I get her trained, After Hours show is coming. But guys, thank you for tuning in to the Man Hour. This is truly the only place where you can get live, raw, uncut NFL talk. See you next time right here on the Man Hour. And as always, Man Hour Nation, rise up.